Hello and welcome to the video. This video has been long requested. It's essentially the breakdown slash guide of Kitana. I'm not going to be going over combos in this video heavily, if at all. It's more going to be going over like the basic components of the character, like her basic combo strings, her combo starters, mix-ups essentially, punishing, that kind of a thing, space and zone control. So that's essentially what I'm going to be going over in this video, and this is for all the people who requested it because it's been requested a lot. This is the first time I'm doing a video like this, so if it's obviously not up to your standards or something, I apologize. Like, leave comments in the comment section and I'll try to get around to it and I'll see what I can do. Maybe address certain situations better next time, etc. Right, so without further ado, I'm going to begin. Right now I'm going to speak of her basic combo starters essentially, and what I'm going to do is just show her 3 combo starters, her 3 basic ones that everyone kind of should use in my opinion. They're her best, and maybe 3 combos to come off of it depending on your skill level, etc. Like, so right here are the 3 actual starters. So it's going to be her this into it, like, not going to consider a fan net, let's just say we'll go into starters first. So that is a back 2-3-1. That's her first one. Her back 1-4 is her second one, and her 1-2 will be her third one. Now I recommend these. Obviously other people have different opinions, I understand that, but they're the 3 that I would recommend, and I would solemnly go with this one generally anyways, because it has a mix up in it. Well, essentially it does. It has the low, it's pretty quick to start up, it's kind of hard to punish if you do it right, and it can land in an overhead crushing blow, it can land in a, well, complete the string, and if you hit confirm it you can go for a fan lift. The 1-2 can land in the fan lift, you can go 1-2 and then, you know, do something, or you can do a 1-2 down 2, so it's a low. A few endings to that one, but that's essentially it for that move. And this one, her back 1-4. You can go into fan lift obviously. You can obviously go into any special move you want with like any of the moves, but I wouldn't recommend that. And you can go and finish the string, which would be this. It can be a crushing blow if it's a punish, so as I go over later in the video I'm going to recommend these 2 as the punish, and the grab of course. So remember that if you do land this punish the first time, you can put it into a crushing blow, and it goes to 30% damage, I'm pretty sure, so that's really good. Right, so now I'm going to show you just 3 basic combos to come from the string. Now I'm just going to base them all off of this because they all land the same way, if you get what I'm saying. They can all finish with the same combo ender. This is just the one I'm used to. So right, here it goes. I'm going to start with a low level, so someone's just picking up Kitana essentially. So you can do something like this, man. Not too bad. It goes into the fan pickup, a back 2 and then into a down forward 2. Like always, this is just for people who aren't used to really jumping into the combo, like timing wise essentially. So you can end it obviously with that, the ass slap, and whatever else, like another special move, whatever one suits you basically. You can also go for a jump kick if you wish, and if you're trying to get used to the air hits and follow up with a special, I'd recommend this be your last move as a new player. Maybe into the ass slap, it'll do decent damage. And if you don't want to use the kick, you can get used to just jumping 1. Same thing, less damage, but it will help you if you want to advance in her kind of combo strings essentially. Right, so a middle class player essentially should incorporate the single jump, I reckon. So maybe this. And you can finish it obviously with this, just like the last one, the ass, whatever you think is right, even a fan. So again, it'll be like this. If you find the back 1-4 too hard, you can do a 1-2. Decent damage, nearly 23%. It's a good output. Like, if you want to prepare for the double jump, which we'll go over if you're top or essentially know your ways around Kitana, you can prepare like this. You can do the single jump and then do a special in the air for the second one. That's if you're trying to bridge the gap to being able to use the double jump into a combo. So again, it will be this essentially. And if you're doing the normal one, it will be this. Right, so as always, you can end them in any specific way you want with a special, depending on what the situation is, whether you want to push them around over like to the corner, whether you want to switch sides, essentially like this, or whether you want to go for damage, which is generally this, unless you consider the crushing blows at this one. And the last part will be advanced technique, essentially. So if you're good with Kitana, I'd recommend a combo like this. Now obviously there's slight variations, so I understand that. Something like that. 248 is pretty nice. You can land obviously the crushing blow for the first time. If you want to switch sides as well, it's good. Does a nice amount, respectable amount of damage, specifically for Kitana in this current state. And you can also kind of incorporate the jump kick essentially. Very good for pushing someone to a corner. It's handy. So quickly I will go with this for standard. Something like that. At the end of it a special. Middle class, recommended combo would be something like this. And an advanced one would be maybe like this. Incorporate a double jump, essentially. Right, that's it for the first part. It's just essentially combo starters, what to use, and I'd recommend to use this one mostly because as I said it can end in multiple ways, whatever suits you best. So I will be back in 2 seconds with the next part. Welcome back. This part will essentially go over her spacing, more like her positioning in the fight. This shouldn't take too long, but there's not going to be like an easy, normal, advanced kind of tier list. It's just going to be the same thing. Whatever you think is the most effective thing to learn in this situation, then learn it. So as I'd always recommend with Kitana, most players when you fight against with Kitana, you don't want to be in their face too often. Unless they're not good at blocking and you know what you're doing. Then you'll see me do that a lot if I know the opponent is not going to be able to block me. Or if he doesn't know what the hell Kitana fights like. But besides that, I'd recommend this distance for the closest. And my reason for that is because her back two can land from this distance. So if they do something risky, you can punish it. If you want to test the grounds, you can just go with a single back two. If it lands and you're quick, you can go for a full combo. Something like that maybe. So this is the close distance essentially. So you don't want to be too close. This is if you're like trying to control the space of the game. If you're too close and you start doing something like this, you're going to get punished. So I'd recommend here, this would be if you're trying to, open up your opponent and combo off of it. This is your distance, because it's safe for you. A lot of pokes ain't going to reach you, but her back two can reach the opponent. So your advancing tool would be your back two in my opinion. Forward one is the same, but it doesn't have as much, potential with the combo. You can't do something like this, for example. It doesn't do it like that. You've got to commit to the full combo string and you can't combo off it in the end. So for space control, this distance is the best if you're the type of person that wants to punish with a back two. If you want to be going for combos essentially during the match, but you also don't want to be like here, for example, I'd recommend starting distance is good. Fun fact as well, when the match starts, you can start with a back two and you can land it if your opponent doesn't predict it. But besides that, you want to be essentially zoning this Kitana, because after her nerf, obviously like she's just not that good essentially in this current state. Specifically her damage output and combos have been pretty nerfed, like, so I'd recommend zoning essentially. So normal fan, short hop fan, high fan, your best friends essentially. Get used to the timing on them, mix up your opponent with it, catch them off guard. Very handy. It's good for retreating as well, it's good for advancing, whatever suits you. Her ass is the same thing, except it's more used for like mid-range. This maybe, so it fills in the gap. Can't use it back here, it's not going to reach, you're going to get punished for it. See, you're going to land right in the punishing distance. Don't recommend there. So if you're going to use the ass, I recommend from around here to about here. So you can kind of mess around with the fans, you know, push in, oh, push in, hit with the ass. It's kind of a thing. I generally use the ass attack when my opponent is advancing on me and they're blocking. And I'm trying to like open them up. I find I wait for them to do something stupid, and then I just did something stupid there, and then I pushed them back, and then it's back to zoning. And your third technique you want to know is the glide, or the flutter essentially. Also her down forward trip. I do not have it in this variation, so give me a second. I'm just looking at my normal variation. But in her highness variation, which is pretty much the fantastic one, you have her down forward 3, I believe. And this is just basically, it helps with the zoning. It kills projectiles essentially. So if Scarlet threw something at me, I could essentially break it. Obviously there's a timing specific to it, so if you mix that in with your zoning, you know what I mean. It also buffs your fans. If you can, Scarlet throws something, let's say if Scarlet throws, how do I use Scarlet again? Blood Ball is it? Oh shit, sorry Scarlet. Right, let's just say Scarlet throws something like that. It absorbs it, right? Her fans glow blue for a period of time. And then they hit harder. Good for zoning, and look now I've got basically a buff of my fans. So it's a good idea to incorporate that into your zoning tactics. Don't recommend using it too often because you can be punished pretty badly. So the end of this kind of lesson in a sense for them 3 periods would be this, learn the short hop, learn the distance for the ass, don't abuse the fans, you're going to get punished. Space control, control your space, and remember around this distance you can safely punish in most situations. That's always a good thing. And the last thing to go over before I move to the next part of the tutorial in a sense would be her down back 2 in the sky. Now yes, you can advance a combo with this like this sometimes. See, it does combo into things, but I wouldn't recommend it to be honest. I'd more recommend it for controlling your spacing. Now you can like short hop over projectiles, low projectiles, you can hop over normal projectiles, you can stay in the sky, you can advance, you can retreat. It's very good. And the last thing before I finish with this part is you can follow up from it. So you can go fan, I can go fan, ass. Oh, didn't do the ass thing. Shit. You know what I mean? You can do a lot of stuff. Ooh, my voice just went fucking terrible there. You can do a lot of stuff from it. So remember them 4 things. So you got keep this space or further back. The ass has a range from about here. Remember that. Constantly zone with your fans to keep your opponent in check. You want to actually punish them. You want to open them up. You want to pressure them. Keep in the air with this. If your opponent challenges you in the air, you can punish them. And if they start throwing projectiles back, you can buff. This buffs your fans, you do more damage, which is always a good opportunity. So that's it for controlling space control. What I recommend before I end is just, you're not going to want to be in people's faces too much as Kitana. If they know what they're doing, you don't want to be. So I'd say about this distance. You can always punish with the back 2, so remember that. If you start the match with the back 2, there is a chance you can land the combo into the fan lift obviously. And you just want to kind of crack open your opponent. Use your fans to your advantage. Use your ass when she gets too close. Oh, I can't do it. Why can't I do the ass attack? What the fuck? Oh, what the hell? It's not in this variation. Oh, this isn't, yeah, this isn't the proper tournament variation. Fuck that, man. You have ground war in the tournament variation, so you can use the ass on the floor. But yeah, you want to pressure them with that, so whatever you think suits best, essentially. In the air, advancing tool, retreating tool, and advancing attack. That's all you want to know to crack open your opponent. So right, I will see you in 2 seconds for the next part. Welcome back to segment 3, as you could say, of the video. This part shouldn't be too long. It's just going to go over punishing essentially. So Kitana, to me at least, has 3 punishing tools. her 1-2, her back 1-4, and her grab. Essentially, you're going to want to incorporate the 1-2 generally. It has the quickest startup frames of just 8, so it punishes most things. Her back 1-4 is a 13 frame startup. A lot of things aren't going to get punished by it. Unless you know your frames and you're absolutely great with punishing, I'd recommend the 1-2. And if you're just new to it, I recommend the grab. Now I picked Scorpion because Scorpion is so common. Everyone plays him online. You're going to be fighting him a lot, so you're best off to learn him. Now I'm going to show you like a basic combo string from Scorpion. I don't play any other characters, so forgive me if this is not too good. But to do something like this, that's generally what I see Scorpions do. And if he wanted to do the crush and blow, he would have did it. But I just didn't want to do it, because I'm cool. But yeah, that's what you're going to see a lot of Scorpion players do. Or they'll zone you from a distance with their kunai, and then they'll teleport when you try to punish them. Now we're going to learn how to punish his teleport, which is like by far the most annoying move he has. So, right, that was an accident. Here. So we're going to go 1-2 first. No, grab first. We're going to go grab first. The grab is, you know, everyone knows the grab. Grab is your step 1 to learning punish. Simple. It's just a simple L1, so you can't really go around with it.
Where is your pride?
Right, so we go for the 1-2 now. That was my phone, sorry. Go for a double jump into a punish if you are used to punishing, or just good with their combos. You can also end it with instead of the ass, you can end it with this if you want to keep your opponent close to you, so you can follow up with a quick punish, depending on what they're going to do. If you're not too good at punishing, or you're kind of middle tier, go for the single hop like we showed earlier, and then go for either the ass if you want to push them away, back to zoning. But if you don't want to go back to zoning like I showed, you can go straight for the throat slit. Or the chest slit. And if you're just learning, you know, how to punish, I just go for the normal thing we showed earlier, so maybe something like this. Accordingly, like I said, you can go for the ass hit if you want to push them back to zoning, to distance at least. And you can go for the gut slice if you want to put them into a position to be comboed essentially. So when they're here now, I can kind of, you know, bait off a combo. That's kind of it for punishing with the 1-2. You can try now the back 1-4. Very awkward timing, but it is possible. See, I don't like it. Honestly, I don't like it. It does a bit more damage, but like it's so fucking awkward on timing. Specifically with his teleport, like as you can see. I'm not too fond of it, to be honest. See, it can land, of course. I do land it, but it's just, I don't know, the timing specifically on Scorpion's teleport is finicky. And if you miss it, you're going to have what a normal Scorpion player does, and that's kick you in the leg several times, because that's what Scorpion does best. So you do land, let's say, that's not even a punish, but you know, push them away. You don't want to be too close to Scorpion. Thanks, Scorpion. Right, now I'm going to briefly go over the last part of this segment, and it's going to be comboing from her a uppercut. So what I'd recommend to combo from her uppercut. Now I'll show you that now. Okay, I'm going to quickly show the uppercut crush and blow punish, and I'm going to recommend 2 combos to come from it. One is easier than the other obviously, but lacks a bit more damage output. But obviously practice makes perfect, you can get better with it. So you're going to generally do this to people who consistently uppercut or try grabby. So essentially I can do an uppercut. Right. You can go for the 1-2 into the fan pickup, and then end it with throat slit if you want. 41.9, essentially 42. That's if you want to keep them close, or you can end it with the ass slap to push them away. And her back 1-4 if you're used to punishing, and you can go in for that, a bit more damage, an extra 2% essentially. Not the end of the world, but it's harder to do, but if you learn it right, you can do it. See, it's a bit difficult. Timing is a bit awkward on it. Yeah, as you can see. So I generally recommend the 1-2 unless your timing is immaculate here. 36. So either back like that, back 1-4, or the 1-2. 1-2 is more reliable, less damage output, but it's definitely more reliable. So that's it for punishing, essentially. And that's my recommendations for the uppercut, crushing blow, punish. So now we're going to go on to the last segment of the video, so I hope it's helping so far. See you in a second. Welcome to the last part of the video. Whoever's still here, thank you for watching. I hope it's been helping. This is going to be short, this part. It's just going to be going over like catching your opponent off guard, mixing them up, that kind of a thing. So I'm going to recommend her 3 combo starters, which is the ones we've been going over the whole video. And then let's say 3 other ones that aren't actually combo starters, and we're going to mix them up essentially, if you get what I'm saying. So her forward 2, 3, 4, maybe her 1, 2, down 2, her back 1, 3, 1, and if you want her back 3, 4. That's not as combo heavy, but you can end up with the ass at least. Now the reason I'm doing this, and also the grab, let's not forget the grab. Now this is short and simple. It's just going to be catching your opponent down. You don't want to be predictable. You could advance with a back 2, and instead of being normal like everyone and doing the full combo, you could do back 1-2, back 1-2 again. You could catch your opponent off, you could do massive damage, right? You could maybe do this, they expect a fan lift, you could trip them. You could also do this, they expect a fan lift, 1-2, then a fan lift. You want to kind of pressure your opponent essentially, so you could go something like this. Oh, not like that. Let's say something like that. You kind of want to pressure your opponent, catch them off guard, not to be predictable essentially. You can also go this twice, because everyone thinks it's safe to punish after you end the combo string, but if you're good with timing, it's not essentially. So you could also go maybe this into a back 1 to grab it. Your opponent's blocking, let's say. How do I put him on block? Here. You could go a jump kick, grab it. Works a lot, honestly. People don't expect it. Well, people kind of do, but it's hard to punish. They generally go for something like an uppercut. If it doesn't work, then if it doesn't work, they get kicked in the face. So they take damage regardless. So. You could also go land, you know, in with a few combo kind of potential if you want. The idea is to pressure your opponent. Kitana is a bit of a beast in the corner, so if you want to push him into the corner. So what I recommend is, like I said, the 3 startup combos that I always showed, these ones, and then her 3 other kind of combo enders, which will be them ones. And the reason that you can also do this one, or 2-1, 2-2-2, depending on what you want to do. But like, the reason I recommend this as a combo ender is because it's an overhead and no one blocks high against Kitana, which is a bad idea. So you get them 6 combos including the grab and just mix them up. This is kind of your own practice. I can't tell you what feels right, if you get what I'm saying. That's why I can't go over this part too often. But I would do some things generally, like as I said, the jump kick, grab. You know, let's say this into what they're expecting, then a low. Maybe this into what they're expecting into a back 1-4 fan pickup, kind of a thing like that. It's down to your timing, how well you can see your opponent is blocking, and how quick you can act on a punish. So if I'm doing this for ages, and then let's say he drops his guard here, I've got to be quick enough to pick him up with the fan, and then that's it, I've got a combo for myself. But if I'm not quick enough, I can maybe end it with a punish, which is a crushing blow, or I could just end it with, you know, a normal attack, essentially. You want to get involved and catch your opponent off guard, come up with your own kind of mix-up combo strings. As long as you're mixing up lows, mids, you know, overheads essentially, you should be fine. It's going to get like a turtling opponent to basically get fucked over essentially. But that is kind of it. What I'd recommend, what I can't show you now, is learn stuff like grab escapes and when you're in the air. Like when you get in the air, or down or 2, like anyone, will knock you out of the air. It's like a safety roll. Her forward L2, when you're on the floor, like everything is a getaway, except you move towards the opponent with a roll, and then obviously her back L2 is away, it's a safety roll. Learn them. You're like important things online to get you out of combos and stuff like that. So I can't really show that off, but learn that. Practice grab escapes. So your square and your circle, whichever one gets you out of a situation, and act accordingly, of course. And that is essentially it. This is the first time I've ever done something like this. I don't know if it's too helpful. If it isn't, please let me know. I'll make another one, or I'll try help. I'll address the situations and stuff. I hope it helps. So best of luck learning Kitana, and as always, I have no problem with doing more stuff like this. So if there's anything I've left out, don't be afraid to let me know in the comment section. Anyways, best of luck.